overcast and muggy in Queens tonight, but we will have Chicago Cubs baseball on NBC Sports Chicago. Cubs and Mets open up a 4-game weekend set. The Cubs are coming off a series win in Pittsburgh. Great to have you with us tonight. Jim DeShays and Len Casper with you. The Cubs won the first 2, lost last night in Pittsburgh, but Jason Hayward had 3 more hits, and he has moved up in the batting order.
Yeah, 6 out of 11 for Hayward in the Pittsburgh series. Been swinging a hot bat here of late. So Joe Madden trying to take advantage of that, putting him into the 2-hole here tonight. Pretty good when he gets the ball out away from him, where he get those big long arms extended. He's been using the whole field. He's not striking out. He's punched out just about as much as he has walked so far this year. And of course, when you talk Jason Hayward, you have to talk about the defensive work. Very strong arm, but not just arm strength, the accuracy. A heck of a pick by Contreras there. A little short hop at the end of this play as well.
And the other thing you like about Hayward here the last couple of weeks is responding after the concussion. It was the first time he had ever gone to the DL due to a concussion, and he has rebounded nicely.
Yeah, and you see the numbers over his last 5 ball games, 8 out of 16, OPS up over 1,200.
Jose Quintana would like a bounce back. He got off to a good start first couple of innings against the Giants, and then went 0-2 on back-to-back hitters, gave up a walk and a home run. He's been a lot better on the road than at home, however.
Yeah, in his last 2 road starts, he's not allowed an earned run. ERA at home up over 6. Seth Lugo, he's been in the bullpen all year this year. He's been very good out of the Mets bullpen, but pressed him to duty as a starter tonight. He's been pretty solid in that role in the past as well.
Mets got off to an 11-1 start, but they have struggled mightily since. They're only a game over 500 on the season. We'll have the Cubs and the Mets coming up from New York next.
to go further in their fuel-efficient vehicles. Check out our entire lineup at your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Menards. Save big money at Menards. And by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency.
Kind of a bizarre night weather-wise. It is pea soup. That was pizza. But it is kind of a soggy night. Very overcast, foggy, hazy. It's 67 degrees, but due to the humidity, it feels a lot warmer than that. And fortunately, we will get this thing started on time. And let's check in on the Cubs Southwest starting lineup. Ben Zobrist in the leadoff spot. Jason Hayward hitting 7th or 8th every time he's been in there this year, except for tonight. Bryant, Rizzo, Contreras, 3, 4, 5. Javier Baez is shortstop, bats 6, so he's in there with Russell out. Schwarber in left, Happ in center, and Jose Quintana, the pitcher, batting 9.
And let's check in with the Mets defensively here. The last time we saw Jose Bautista, he was playing third base in Atlanta. Now he's playing left field in New York. Michael Conforto center tonight. You'll find Nimmo in right. Sorry, have to say that. Luis Guillorme and Ahmad Rosario, a very young, very good defensively on the left side of the infield. A couple veterans on the right side, Cabrera and Jay Bruce, who you normally find in the outfield, but he's played a few games at first in his career. Devin Mesoraco, the former Red, is behind the plate. And the Lexus Experience, amazing starting pitcher for the Mets tonight is Seth Lugo. He's done a heck of a job out of the Mets bullpen so far this year with a 2.48 ERA. League bats 203 against him. You see he's been awfully tough on lefties, so a bit of a reverse split guy. 284 for right-handed batters against him, 098 for lefties.
That's the crew chief Brian Gorman back of the plate. Adrian Johnson at first. Tripp Gibson at second, and Chad Whitson is over at third. We think there might be a headset issue for replay, maybe. Brian Gorman just had a chat with Joe Madden and then talking with the other umpires, and we will now alert Mickey Callaway, the Mets manager. But we're in New York, so
I was going to call New York and see what's going on. They're just practicing.
Are they reviewing the slide from last night in Pittsburgh?
Yes, they are. They're just practicing for the first illegal slide confrontation we have tonight.
So while they figure that out, just a brief update on the Mets. They've won 11 of their first 12 to start the year, 16-25 since. They have lost 7 of their last 10. They're having all kinds of bullpen issues, and they have been incredibly unlucky on the injury front. Mickey Callaway, their first-year manager, the other day said, quote, "We've hit rock bottom and we have to come out of it. I haven't slept in a week."
Yeah, that's not good for the first-year manager. Obviously, he's feeling the stress after that great start. Expectations probably shot through the roof here in New York. So they have not played well since that early start. And boy, you got to be careful as a manager to say we've hit rock bottom, because you never really know when you've hit rock bottom in this game.
Callaway succeeding Terry Collins. He was previously the Indians pitching coach. This is Callaway's first managerial job at any level, although he was briefly a college head coach, Texas A&M International, and former big league pitcher, and at one time was with Joe Madden with the Angels. Joe was on Mike Scioscia's staff at that time. So here we go. Ben Zobrist leading off against the right-hander Lugo, and the first pitch is a fastball for a strike. The leadoff man is presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. If Zobrist gets a hit here, Binny's will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. That is hit down the left field line, and it's out of play. That first pitch from Lugo, the rising fastball, JD, that's been a real good pitch for him.
Yeah, he's working out of the bullpen now. He's seen a little bit of an uptick in his velocity, heavy curveball usage, and he's really taken full advantage of that. That's probably been his best pitch. You see about a third of the time he throws his curveball. His slider has not been effective. And you know, out of the pen so far this year, he's had 3 separate appearances where he's pitched at least 3 innings. The Mets are targeting 65 pitches or so here tonight for Lugo.
Yeah, if they could get 4 innings out of him, they'd be very happy. And so if you're the Cubs, the sooner you can get to the rest of their bullpen, the better, as they've had all kinds of issues here lately. 67 degrees and just kind of a drizzly night here in New York. On the ground, it's the shortstop Ahmed Rosario, and he gets Zobrist for the first out of the ball game.
Rosario, very slick defender. When we were here last year, the fans were clamoring, get that guy to the big leagues. He's ready. Well, we'll find out. I don't think he's going to bring a whole lot to the table offensively, but he can really play the position.
Now Jason Hayward, and he takes in the dirt. We'd like to welcome all our viewers watching and streaming the Cubs on NBC Sports Chicago on CFU in Cedar Falls, Iowa.
Kind of an interesting windup he has here.
Yeah.
He goes over the head with the hands and then settles at the belt for a moment before coming home. We'll go a 34th round draft pick, 2011.
One and two on Hayward, batting second for the first time this season. 3 for 3 with a walk in the game last night. 3 hits on Tuesday for the Cubs right fielder. Topped off the plate. Lugo will take it unassisted. Out at first on a bang bang play. Pretty athletic play by Lugo.
Yeah, outstanding play because he was the only option. Bruce had broken to get the ball as well, so there was no throw to be made here.
And he was a multi-sport guy in high school in Louisiana. He lettered in baseball, soccer. He was a punter on the football team. He ran track. And we saw some of that athleticism. Chris Bryant takes a strike.
Lugo's been averaging 94 miles per hour with his fastball this year, a couple of miles an hour better than what he did last year. You just saw that one at 96. And talking to some Mets folks, they said Mickey Callaway has told him, look, just go out there and do the same thing you were doing as a reliever. Don't try to save anything. Just let it rip.
We just got word from the press box due to the technical issues with the replay system here tonight. Each manager will have his normal challenge, but unlimited crew chief reviews. They overshift to the left on the infield against Bryant. Now the 2-1. Broken bat flare and a fair ball into the right field corner. Bryant will have a double and a jump start his road trip. Now 3 out of 15. And he's at second base with 2 outs.
And KB's been a little quiet of late. This is a rising fastball, and he just flips it down the right field line for a 2-out double. Here comes Anthony, who's having a very good month of May.
So Rizzo bats with Bryant in scoring position and 2 outs. And you will hear in the background tonight the PA voice of Marisol Castro debuting as the Mets' first female public address announcer. Colin Cosell, grandson of the late Howard Cosell, will debut on Saturday night here in New York.
You think he will say now batting that man, number 88.
Howard did some pre and post game for the Mets in their first horrible year of 1962. I'm reading his biography, and he was not kind to Casey Stengel that year. The 0-2 and pop up behind the bag. Rosario for the out. Here come the Mets against Jose Quintana when we come back. And 40 and 120. Here are the 2018 Mets. Their starting lineup brought to you by Southwest. Nimmo, Cabrera, Bautista at the top, Conforto, Mesoraco, and Bruce in the middle. Rosario, Guillorme, and Lugo at the bottom.
Cubs defensively tonight. Kyle Schwarber plays left. Ian Happ is in center. Jason Hayward in right. It's a big outfield here. Infield of Bryant, Baez, Zobrist, Rizzo. Wilson Contreras is behind the plate, and the Lexus Experience amazing starting pitcher for the Cubs is the veteran left-hander Jose Quintana. This is start number 11. He's recorded 9 decisions already, 5 and 4, 478 the earned run average. Been a bit of a bumpy ride for him, up and down, still searching for consistency.
Brandon Nimmo, one of 5 Mets in their lineup tonight, with a surname ending in an O. He's playing right, getting on base at a 43% clip. 1-1 the count.
Yeah, 429 on base percentage, 4th best in Major League Baseball. He's doing some slugging as well.
Quintana's 1-1, and he's just off the outside corner. Mentioned in the open, his last start against the Giants was a real strange one. He mowed him down through the first 3 innings with 6 strikeouts, but then got into some trouble in the 4th. That ball is hit hard but foul to left. Mac Williamson, 1 out in the 4th. He went 0-2 on him, ended up walking him, then went 0-2 on Brandon Crawford. Crawford came back and hit a home run.
Yeah, I feel like he's had a number of those starts this year. As you look at his pitch mix, more sinkers than 4-seamers. Curveball can be a real plus pitch for him, and the changeup away to the right, he's a good weapon as well.
2-2 fouled. So he's gone fewer than 5 innings 4 times in his first 10 starts. Started his pro career in the Mets organization. Foul tip, strike 3.
Well, this should be a good matchup for him. The Mets have 4 left-handed bats in their lineup tonight. And lefty's batting just 170 against Jose. And Mickey Callaway just doesn't have that many options right now with all the injuries. He's only got a 3-man bench tonight.
Switch hitting Asdrubal Cabrera has played second base exclusively this season. Last year and starts at second, short, and third. He leads the Mets in the Triple Crown categories: average, home runs, and RBIs. 1-1.
Cabrera's been a solid player for a long time now. 32 years of age, came up as a youngster. Good from both sides of the plate. He's batting .310 as a right-handed batter this year.
Mets wearing a patch on their right sleeve here in 2018, honoring the late Rusty Staub, who passed away on opening day, March 29th at age 73. He is in the Mets Hall of Fame. Cabrera 1 home run away from a milestone. 149 in his career. Might have cracked his bat on that ground ball as he studies. Little tap. So far so good.
Sounded cracked, didn't it?
Well, if in fact he makes contact here with a broken bat in this at bat, it's a 2-minute penalty. If we were playing hockey.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. He doesn't like that bat anyway, right? He's probably going to use a different one next time.
We'll take further examination to find out whether this bat is cracked or not.
He's still studying it.
Donna slipped a piece of cheese by him there.
So back-to-back strikeouts, and here is Bautista. 9 games with the Mets. 7 out of 19, 3 doubles, 6 walks. Pretty interesting story. So he gets cut by the Braves on May 20th when he officially became a free agent. 2 days later, the Mets signed him. He was sitting at home in Florida during the afternoon and got the call and said, "Hey, you're a Met." So he gathered his things, rushed to the Tampa airport, flew here to New York. Fortunately, the airport here is just across the highway. Got to Citi Field about 30 minutes before game time, and he was in their lineup that night.
And he's performed well for them.
Yep. 1-2, swing and a miss.
How about that?
Yeah, nice first inning for Quintana as he strikes out the side. later in tonight's game. Wilson Contreras will lead off the Cubs' second inning. This is the first of 7 in the regular season series. Contreras has reached base 6 times over the last 2 games. Cubs felt like they should have swept the Pirates. They lost 2-1 last night. Left 11 men on base, including 2 in the 9th against the closer Vasquez.
Yeah, left the bases loaded in the first. Had bases juiced, just 1 out after scoring 1, failed to add on, had first and second, nobody out. And Addison Russell got picked off second base. That was, I think, in the 3rd or 4th inning. So that inning kind of fizzled on him. And you'd like to take advantage of this Mets club that is really banged up right now.
17 DL usages so far. They used the DL 30 times last year.
Yeah, it's obviously they've had a lot of tough luck. It's been an ongoing saga with this talented rotation that they have, trying to keep these guys all healthy. Among the many that are on the DL, you see Syndergaard, Flores, Cespedes, and Darno.
Darno's done for the year. Tommy John surgery. 3-2. Contreras taps foul.
Steven Matz is listed as the Sunday starter here. But he had to come out of his last start, so not exactly sure what he's got.
So he's got left middle finger discomfort. He played catch today. He hopes to throw a bullpen tomorrow, and if all goes well, he does hope to make that start. On the ground to the shortstop. Rosario has been busy early. That'll bring up Javier Baez, the shortstop, facing a WBC Team Puerto Rico teammate from last year.
Tip of the cap to his former teammate.
Lugo's paternal grandfather was born in Puerto Rico. Seth is from Shreveport, Louisiana. Sinker strike.
He's getting very good arm side run on that sinking fastball. That's why he was able to get in on the hands of Contreras and get that ground ball to short.
One and 2 to Javi. He's batting 6th and playing short. Joe just trying to get as many guys as many at bats as possible. So this evening, Almora and Russell out of the lineup, as he's got Zobrist at second base, Happ playing center.
Ooh, that was a miss. Mesoraco wanted that fastball shoulder high. Sweet spot. Good aggressive swing at it. At first you don't succeed. I'm waiting to see Uncle Charlie here. We were talking about his curveball earlier and how much he has used it, how effective it has been, but he hasn't really featured that pitch. Feeling pretty frisky with that 96 tonight, I think.
Yeah, they told him not to hold anything back, even though he's starting.
That was a curveball there. It wasn't a particularly good one. Gets a lot of spin on his breaking pitch.
Yeah, I guess there's some irony, right, in this 2018 season for the Mets, because for a brief period in April, they finally had their dream rotation together. Syndergaard, DeGrom, Wheeler, Matz, and Harvey all started consecutive a couple of times through the rotation. Swing and a miss, strike 3. But then Harvey lost his job. That 5-man group was the one they've been talking about here since 2015. And they could just never all be healthy at the same time.
It's been a theme here for a long time, going back to the Pulsiver, Isringhausen, Wilson group that they had such high expectations for, and those guys had to deal with all kinds of injury issues.
Now Schwarber with 2 outs. 1 hit in the game. That was a Chris Bryant 2-out double in the first. And he takes a strike. A little high that time.
A lot of guys try to elevate that fastball to Schwarber. He's very good down.
You almost wonder why he even needs the hands over the head. It might just be part of his routine.
Yeah.
But it almost is not part of his main delivery.
No, it's like a 2-part windup. The conventional, the old school over the head, and then he stops and basically starts over again. Stop and then go.
Schwarber went after it. Lugo's been solid through 2. Scoreless early.
At Wrigley Field, be a part of it all season long. Everybody in. The Cubs return home June 5th, the start of a 6-game homestand with the Phillies and the Pirates. Get your tickets now at Cubs.com.
Lefty-lefty matchup. Michael Conforto takes wide for ball 1. I'll send out congratulations to the Farinellas. Michael Vincent, 7 pounds 12 ounces, born on May 29th, as Conforto with a base hit. He's going to try for 2, and he should be out by a mile. He is out. Really surprised he kept on running. Schwarber got to that ball pretty quickly. The teams continue to test him.
That's, I believe, his 5th outfield assist. He leads the club, and he's got to be among the league leaders. Yeah, you know, it's funny because Kyle has a reputation of not being a great left fielder, and he's improved out there in terms of the routes he takes. But this part of it has never been in question. Conforto with a little late evasive action there, but Zobrist hangs in there to apply the tag.
Now former Red Devin Mesoraco, acquired for Matt Harvey earlier this month.
Hey, he looks different in pinstripes.
Yeah, he does. Back-to-back ex-Reds in their lineup tonight. Jay Bruce on deck. Look out.
Kind of thinking the Mets should sign Brandon Phillips. It would fit with what's going on here, signing all these aged veterans to try to patch things together.
Fouled back to the screen. Yeah, so Michael Vincent Farinello was born May 29th. Parents Lou and Katie. Siblings Leah and Louie, and Tom and Lorraine, grandparents Jim and Maria, all doing great. Congratulations.
Rocco's added some sock to this Met lineup. He's hit 6 home runs. Batting .231 overall this year. He's taking his walks. So a change of scenery deal as Harvey goes to the Reds and Mesoraco finds a home here in New York.
Sharply hit, but right to Chris Bryant. Hey, Cubs fans, tee it up at Whistling Straits, side of the 2020 Ryder Cup. 4 of Golf Digest's top 100 public courses are all located in Kohler, Wisconsin, 2 hours north of Chicago. Learn more at whistlingstraits.com/Cubs. Here's Jay Bruce, traded to Cleveland in August of last year and re-signed by the Mets to a 3-year contract in the offseason.
It's been a tough go so far for Bruce this year. .229 batting average, just 3 long balls. Very streaky though.
He's at first base tonight, making his 3rd start there this season. Adrian Gonzalez has been the main guy. Wilmer Flores has made some starts there as well, but he's on the DL. One and 2 on Bruce. Quintana struck out the side in the 1st inning.
Try to bounce something here. Didn't get it there. Throw it again. That's time to make an adjustment is on the very next pitch.
Ruben Amaro Jr. is the Mets first base coach. He was hired in November of last year. He was a Red Sox first base coach the last couple of years. And remember, he was the GM of the Phillies.
Yeah. Interesting career path.
Former Major League outfielder. Lined out into left center for Bruce. And he will not try to stretch it into a double, and we'll get a hand from the aforementioned, or a fist bump from Amaro. Hey, who invented the fist bump?
Dusty Baker.
No, that was the high five. There has to be like an oral history of the fist bump, right? At some point. That's a pretty modern thing.
Yeah. Somebody who had a cold and didn't want to shake hands.
Yeah. Rosario hitting .350 over his last 12 games. Fouled out of play. .265 average, .292
on base percentage, so he hasn't shown a lot of patience. It's a 3% walk rate. He's very young.
Hayward over and will not have a play.
Years ago, the Mets had Ray Ordonez here, who was just a tremendous defensive shortstop, but he didn't hit much at all. I think Rosario is going to be a better offensive player than that. Let's hoping he's a guy that they can run out there every day for a long time. So he's picked things up here in the month of May.
Man in blue thought about it. Little tapper. Nice play by Contreras. Knew he didn't have a ton of time. Accurate throw. Mets get 2 hits, leave 1. 0-0 after 2 from New York. In 2012, basketball star Fred Carter has been given credit by some for kind of inventing the fist bump. Feels more ubiquitous now than ever, though. Strike called on Ian Happ. Howie Mandel, right?
Howie Mandel?
He's kind of he's a fist bump guy.
Is he?
Yeah, he doesn't like shaking hands.
Oh, he's kind of a germaphobe?
Yeah. Happ hitting 8th, playing center. 1-2 the count. 4:21 in May. On the ground, Cabrera will get him.
Two-out double by Chris Bryant in the first inning, the only base runner the Cubs have had so far, and that ball was not struck all that well. It was hitting a good spot. So Lugo, who was really good out of the pen, continuing his good work here tonight. And the way he's going along, he might be able to get through 5 here.
Quintana remains hitless, 0 for 18.
You ready to rock at the friendly confines? Def Leppard and Journey will take the stage on Saturday, July 14th. The special guest, the Pretenders. Don't miss out on these as these legendary rock bands make their heavy metal debut at historic Wrigley Field. Tickets are on sale now. Cubs.com/concerts.
Zobrist grounded out to start the game. Cubs 29-23, 4.5 games behind Milwaukee. They're in second in the Central. Mets 27-26, 4.5 behind Washington in the East. They're in fourth.
Nationals really surging, as most thought they would. Mets statistically in just about every category when you look at them, batting average, home runs, ERA, just kind of right around league average, a little bit below league average.
Opposite field base hit. Zobrist keeps the third alive.
Run but not sink, and Zobrist really good on pitches up.
Nationals are in Atlanta tonight, leading 1-0 in the first inning.
They've won 6 in a row and 20 out of 26.
I want to say 10 in a row on the road, something like that. Hayward first pitch swinging, little blooper, shallow left, and it drops. Bautista and Rosario in the area, but perfectly placed.
Well, Rosario was selling out and Bautista anything but. He was very tentative coming in from left field, and it may be the aggressive nature of the way Rosario pursued this ball that convinced Bautista to kind of back off a little bit, but it would have been a much easier play for him. The whole thing of beauty for Hayward, who, he's been swinging it well lately, and combine that with a little good fortune, and you see that batting average start to creep up. It's as high as it's been since April 19th.
So now Lugo's got to deal with Bryant with 2 men on and 2 down. Chris doubled in the first. That is a strike on the inside corner. First of a 4-game series, the Mets will come to Wrigley Field in late August. This ballpark opened in 2009. Cubs 14-16 here at Citi Field, which was built right next door to old Shea Stadium. On a bounce, played by Cabrera. Bruce to the bag. Cubs strand 2. Still 0-0 midway in the 3rd inning. last spring training. Adeni Echeverria of the Marlins lets the bat fly. Oh, what a play.
I love the reaction, too. Like, this is commonplace. Everybody else is scrambling. I want that guy in my foxhole.
He bunts. Quintana will pick it up. Glove to Rizzo. Nice play by Cubs pitcher. One away.
Yeah, sometimes with that glove flip, you get a little too much air under it. He's able to get it there in time. And Jerome trying to a little old Wally Backman style play there, a little drag bunt.
Speaking of Wally Backman,
yeah,
I had saved my Mets trivia question for a little later. Can you name the Mets second baseman who's made the most opening day starts in franchise history?
I assume it's not Wally Backman.
It is not. Backman made 3. The number is 5. And there were 5 in a row, and it was the last 5 years of his major league career.
Well, I just got a real good tip from downstairs.
Oh, come on. He's a big man. He's a grown man. He can.
Yeah. He played some third base, right? Alfonso?
No.
Edgardo Alfonso?
You got to go back a little further in history. Started his career with Atlanta.
Felix Millan?
That's the answer. Good call. Yeah, 5 in a row, 73 to 77.
Choked way up on the bat.
Seth Lugo takes inside. It was close. Good try. 3-2.
Quintana really good. His ability to drive that fastball to the inside part of the plate.
Let me look at his last start. I want to say it before I know.
Pitcher walk?
Yeah, he walked. No, he didn't. It was Chatwood who walked. Ty blocked twice on Sunday.
Well, that can be a little unnerving. You walk the opposing pitcher, but you have to turn the page.
In there on Nimmo.
He's been on the scene here off and on the last couple of years. He's only 25 years of age and seems to be hitting his stride.
Interesting note on Nimmo. He is from Cheyenne, Wyoming. No high school ball there. So he played American Legion ball and in showcase events leading up to the draft. And he was a first rounder in 2011. Nimmo was the MVP of the Under Armour All-America game at Wrigley Field in 2010. It ended up being the 13th overall pick. In 2011, the first ever first rounder from Wyoming.
Ooh, my. Could have been Brian. Top of the zone. Just 154 against left-handed pitching so far this year. Not saying it had to be, just that it could have been. If you were hunting for strikes back there.
Driven into the corner. This is trouble. Lugo, the pitcher, running. So that's a break for the Cubs. He can only get the third. Glenn Sherlock puts on the stop sign. That's a double for Nimmo.
Talked about his struggles against lefties, but this is good work here, man. He puts down and shoots it the other way into the left field corner. Well played by Schwarber. You'll watch Lugo hesitate. More experienced base runner probably doesn't hesitate. Sherlock has no choice but to throw up the stop sign.
So the Cubs infield in a couple of steps, but first Contreras will head to the mound, and now the whole infield will come over. You got the pitcher at third, so you don't have to play all the way in, and you don't want to with two in scoring position.
Yeah, two in scoring position. You know, getting into the meat of their batting order here. You don't want to set them up for a big inning. So again, the advantage of Lugo being the base runner. One, he couldn't score on the previous ball, and two, you can play your infield back here. I'm sure Sherlock is telling him down there, you know what, just make sure the ball gets through.
Cabrera struck out in the first.
And I'll tell you what, we get a swing and miss here. Contreras is going to try to pick him off third base.
You heard it here first, folks. The 0-1. It's a strike. So the Mets with the best scoring opportunity so far. Second and third, one out. Quintana, 29 years old, 6'1", 220. 25th start as a Chicago Cub.
Guys have a little history. Cabrera coming into play tonight, 6 out of 25 against Jose.
Yeah, good thing no Yoenis Cespedes. Cespedes on the DL with the hip flexor. He is 10 out of 18 with 4 career homers against Quintana.
I hate to get too defensive this early in the ball game, but you've got a base open.
Popped him up behind the plate. Contreras will not have a play.
So I think the mindset here is you're obviously not pitching around Cabrera, but I think you can stick to your guns in terms of not giving in, just trying to make real quality pitchers pitches. The assumption being he's probably going to be willing to go out of the zone a little bit to try to drive these runs in.
There is not much room right behind home plate. There is a pretty good amount of foul territory in front of the dugouts, as you can see. They have the fans in the most expensive seats closer to home plate, I think, than the pitcher's mound. 0-2 to 3-2. Bautista on deck. Here it comes. He walked him.
It's kind of a percentage play, not a horrible walk there. Cabrera's a fairly aggressive hitter and below league average in terms of his walk rate. So to think that he might be willing to expand his zone is not a bad idea. Tip of the hat to him. He was willing to accept his walk.
So now the Cubs thinking ground ball double play if they can get it. Bautista, a guy who in this spot's trying to hit one in the second deck in left. One strike on him. Here's the pitch. This is technically the second time Bautista has been a New York Met. The first time It was in July of 2004, and it was only on paper for a few hours. That was the year he was moved around about 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, and he was, I remember him with the Pirates as a utility type guy, so a second, little third, line drive hitter with some power, but nothing like he displayed after he moved on to Toronto. Basically, he just changed his approach there, decided to get up on top of the plate, incorporate that leg kick, and try to pull everything, get the head of the bat out in front of everything, and hit it as far as humanly possible. And he ended up having a lot of success with that approach.
The 1-2 inside. So remember that sequence in his last start. 0-2 on Williamson, walked him. 0-2 on Crawford, gave up the homer. Well, same against Cabrera to load the bases. He's now 2-2 on Bautista. Called strike 3. Huge pitch. 2 down.
Bautista was sitting soft here, and he was able to throw this fastball right over the outside corner at the knees.
Brings up Conforto. He singled in the second, but was thrown out trying to stretch it into a double.
Jose's third career start against the Mets. He pitched against them September of last year at Wrigley. 7 innings, a 2-run ball. He made 1 start here previously. That was May of 2016. 7 innings, a 1-run ball.
Curve strike. .25 pitches made here in a stressful third for Quintana. 2 walks and a double.
What normally should be a very easy inning. 8-9-1.
Conforto now 25, former first-round pick out of Oregon State, and was an all-star last year. Just the first few handful of games this season recovering from left shoulder surgery. That ended his season in late August 2017. Late swing that time.
Yeah,
2-2.
The question was, it was pretty severe shoulder injury, and he's back sooner than many thought he would be. And the question was, would it take a while for him to recover his stroke, and especially the power.
Contreras pointing in front of home plate. So that was a little bit of a deep. That's typically throw the curveball in front of the plate. Instead, it was a fastball, and he's run it full with the bases loaded. Porto with a pretty good eye. Go time for all 3 runners with 2 outs, and a bouncing ball right side. Quintana to the bag. Out at first.
Baby.
Mickey Callaway will tell the umpires to hang on a second. But a nice escape job by Quintana. So,
lay on, boys.
Yeah, the Mets leave the bases loaded. And we head off to the 4th inning. Still 0-0. As the Mets could not score, bases loaded, 1 out, and Quintana able to get out of it with a strikeout and a ground out.
Yeah, so what should have been an easy inning got a little hairy there because of the walk to Lugo, but nice job negotiating his way through that. It's time to score a couple.
Well, Lugo was on the bases, so a little extra time to get loose. This probably is his final inning of the night. 48 pitches coming in. And a pretty hard cap at about 60-65.
If he gets through this one quickly, he might be able to talk them into one more if he doesn't come up to hit in the bottom of the inning.
Facing Anthony Rizzo, 0 for 1, and he fouls back out of play. Pitch number 50 misses inside. Clayton Kershaw's back. He's facing the Phillies this evening. High drive to center, and in the haze, Conforto had to find it.
Nimmo said he couldn't see it either. Could have a homer in the Gloman here tonight. It's an unsettling feeling for an outfielder. When you see the ball leave the bat, you know it's coming down pretty soon. You can't find it. You can't see the ball, Nimmo says. You just have to trust your instincts then. You trust your sense. Smell the ball. Be the ball. Maybe MLB should have some special neon balls for nights like tonight.
Charlie Finley, right?
Yeah. Is it the orange ball he wanted to introduce? Yep. Yellow ball, something like that.
This park, when it opened, really tilted towards the pitchers. Hansel Robles, right-hander, is up. They have moved the dimensions in over the years. Just about the entire ballpark. You can see the old wall, a higher wall, that angled wall in the back used to be the actual wall, but now they've
the hitters wind
the wall in front.
Yeah.
Guillorme will get Contreras.
On Sunday, June 10th, the Cubs are hosting Pride Day at Wrigley Field. All participants who purchase tickets through the Cubs Community Nights page receive a Pride-themed Cubs trucker hat. A portion of proceeds will benefit the LGBT community. For more information, visit Cubs.com/community nights.
So when they open this park, and it's interesting, David Wright, his power to right center, and it's really deep out there. I mean, that's foul to third. Just about every park built in the last 15 years has been pretty big, and they've made almost all of them smaller. This place, Comerica,
Did they adjust the Petco?
Seattle, Petco. And news on Wright as Javi ended up on his backside after fouling that pitch off himself. Wright has not played since 2016 due to various injuries. He's 35, his career very much in jeopardy, but he played catch today. That doesn't sound like a lot, but it stands out because it was a baseball activity and it was done in his home ballpark. So nobody quite knows if he's going to be able to come all the way back.
Yeah, in many ways, he's a forgotten guy. You talk about the Mets these days, you don't really think about David Wright. He's had a great career.
Yep. The captain. And I hope he makes it back. 13 years with the Mets.
Yeah, if he could have just at least one more little run of playing relatively healthy baseball, probably give him some peace of mind when he finally does shut it down.
Well, if that's it for Lugo, and I'm with you, he's probably going to try to talk his manager into another inning. Pretty impressive. Cubs into your X1 voice remote and get live team stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. I was thinking today about the schedule and realignment and expansion and all that stuff. Line and caught by Baez. Zarocco is out because I'm weird.
No, you're thoughtful.
And if we go to 32 teams, and I believe we will, probably within the next decade, maybe Montreal and Portland or something.
Yeah.
Would we go to 4-team divisions, or would we go 2 in each league of 8?
I don't know the answer to that.
I don't either. But if we did the 8, it's a little trickier because some of these Midwestern teams would have to team up with the teams out west. But
yeah, and I think Ken Rosenthal interviewed Rob Manfred the other day, commissioner of baseball, and he asked him about expansion, and it's a good article. I think it's in The Athletic. And they talked about that very thing, and the commissioner thought part of the expansion and realignment would be to create more divisions based more on geography, so there'd be less travel, make it a little bit easier with some of these night games before a day game and travel and plus the expense.
Right. So there are two ways to go. And if you go that direction, you might end up with a lot of American and National League teams ending up in the same division. The other way to go would be to try to, not only maintain but maybe even bring back some of the older rivalries. And I think of the Cubs and the Mets.
Yeah.
The Cubs and the Phillies.
NL East.
I think there are a lot of Tiger fans who feel a connection to the Yankees and all those teams in the East because they were there for so long.
Sure.
My hunch is it'll be more geographical, as you said, and then at some point do we end up getting rid of the American and National Leagues and have the same rules throughout?
As long as the American League's willing to get rid of the DH, but I don't see that happening.
It's not happening.
Players Association is not going to go for that either.
Two pitch. This is high. I do think in a lot of the major sports, if not all of them, we're going to get to a point because of inequities. When you get to postseason stuff, we might just get rid of conferences and leagues and all that stuff and just, kind of seed teams 1 through 10 or whatever it is, which would allow you then to get to my ultimate point, to put the White Sox and Cubs in the same division, but also have it where they could possibly meet in a World Series. Yankees, Mets, similarly, right? Because you can't put the Mets and Yankees in the same conference, division, league, or whatever, and not have them have a chance to play in the World Series, which they did back in 2000. Same with the Cubs and White Sox. Hayward will make the catch, but it would make the schedule a lot easier if you could play 10 times in your own city on the road.
Yeah, it would. I'm actually of the mind that I would be willing, and not that anybody would agree with me, I'd be willing to strap interleague play to play more games within the league outside the division. I think the more games, Cubs, Mets, like in the old alignment when it was NL East and West. It's not that I hate interleague play, and I think some really cool features of it, but I'd be willing to give that up to get this back.
Or we could just get rid of it and save one series a year, right? When the Cubs and White Sox match up, Yankees, Mets, really limited. Nice play by Rizzo.
Wait too long.
Out at first on another close play.
This guy's been flashing some leather over there, Big Riz.
So we go to the 5th inning. Cubs and Mets, 0-0. presented by Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Go to jeffvuk.com or follow him on social media. Nationwide is on your side. So the Mets got 4 scoreless innings on 60 pitches from Seth Lugo in a spot start. And he'll hand the ball to Hansel Robles.
Robles on for the 12th time. 2-1 with a 4.05. The strikeout numbers are really good. 18 punch-outs in 13 1/3. He's walked only 4. His issue has been the long ball. He's allowed 5 home runs in 13 1/3 innings of work.
And he just came off the DL 3 days ago. He had a sprained right knee.
I wonder if Mickey Callaway gave any thought to starting one of his other relievers tonight for just an inning or two and then giving it to Lugo and asking him to go 4 and take it into the later stages of the ball game, a la the Tampa Rays.
Well, the one thing he did last night is he used his closer to get out of the 8th. Jeurys Familia.
It's hard to do that against the Cubs because Joe Maddon is very unpredictable. And, we don't have a set lineup, so you're not going to be able to rely on Joe running the same top of the order out there every day that you can match up against. Fastball slider change for Robles.
He's missed on a couple close ones in this sequence. Schwarber struck out in the 2nd inning. Bottom 3 in the Cubs batting order here in the 5th.
Kyle has walked 17% of his plate appearances, one of the highest walk rates in the game. He's got a very disciplined eye. He gets rung up on borderline pitches sometimes, but he really has a solid idea of the strike zone and what he's trying to do in each at bat.
Slugging over 500. Yeah, you really like the walks to strikeouts ratio so far. 30 walks, 45 strikeouts.
Yeah, and when you see as many pitches as he does, and he's among the league leaders in that department too, just pitches per plate appearance, you're going to put yourself in a position where you're going to strike out a lot because you're willing to take pitches and work deep counts and get into these 2-strike situations.
Popped up. This is a tough play in the shift, and nobody catches it. Good effort by Mesoraco. That is a really hard play for a catcher with all that equipment on to run 90 feet and make a catch. And Guillorme couldn't get there either.
Yeah, and again, I think Guillorme had a better shot at it than did Mesoraco. You see him pursuing. He's way over in the shortstop position.
Yeah, that's one thing about the shift that I think teams talk about, but that's one of the holes in the defense, right? Is we don't have much foul territory anymore, and if you're a pitcher, that's a ball you're thinking somebody's got to catch it.
Well, it's always a compromise. You give something up to defend something else.
Schwarber draws the walk, so that's a big break. And the leadoff man is on.
Experience the Budweiser bleachers in the left field porch under the video board. The private porch offers a unique view of the game with both sunny and shaded areas, available in 50 to 100 blocks, unlimited beverages, and access 2 hours prior to first pitch. For more information, visit Cubs.com/premier.
Swinging strike on Ian Happ.
He has a 1042 OPS in the month of May. That's 4th best in the National League. His teammate Anthony Rizzo just behind him. Yeah, so I think that's 2 balls tonight where the Mets probably could have made plays had first Batista and second Guillaume been a little bit more aggressive.
Foul back, 1-2.
Guillaume, a young player, not a lot of experience, and a lot of times those guys tend to be a little timid.
Except for when a bat is being tossed into the dugout.
Catch that, he should be able to catch anything.
Swing and a miss. Got him on the high fastball. That'll bring up Quintana.
This is a danger zone. You see the uppercut swing of Happ. If that ball's mid-thigh, you can hit it a long way, but when it's shoulder high with that swing, nothing good is going to happen.
Popped up on the bunt. Jay Bruce makes the catch and foul ground. Tough goal for Quintana this year with the bat. He's 0 for 19. And Joe, with a lot of his starting pitchers, will have them not bunt until later in the at bat. But in his last start, he grounded into an inning-ending double play with the bases loaded.
Yeah, and the guys that are a little more proficient with the bat, and Joe's willing to let them swing a little bit. And with Q, he hasn't had any luck hitting, so more often than not, it's just go ahead and get up there and get your bunt down if you can.
All right, I got one for you, and I don't know the answer. I'm not asking a leading question. Is there any other current ballpark with foul poles that are not yellow? They're orange.
I do not know.
And that is a towering blast to right near that orange pole. It is a foul ball. He hit it over the pole, but it's foul. Oh, so close.
It is third home run of the year the other day in Pittsburgh, and a bid for number 4 just twists foul. He really got into this one. Second deck. Zoe was going down the line, had a good look at it. You saw no argument from him or Will Venable.
So Jay Bruce thought it was going to be going.
Yeah.
Schwarber takes off, pitch in the dirt, and he reaches. They might give him a stolen base, but I think it was just ball hits dirt, I'm going.
Yeah. Well, Mesoraco hasn't thrown anybody out this year. Base stealers are 11 for 11 against him. I imagine the conversation was any time the ball's in the dirt, don't hesitate, force him to make a throw. Schwarber's got good instincts out there. You see he's bouncing around. Secondary lead is aggressive. He doesn't hesitate.
Nice advance. Almost wish he could give him a steal just for the heads-up nature of that play. So it is a wild pitch charged to Robles.
That's one of the things they'll scout, how good the opposing catcher is in terms of blocking and pouncing on that ball.
That one thumped out in the deep right center. Back toward the wall. It's gone. Cubs lead 2-0. Thirty-seven-year-old Ben Zobrist.
Man, some thunder in that bat still, and rarely do you see it where a guy just misses one foul and then ends up going deep in the same at bat. This one foul down the line this time. All right, I'll say stay center of the yard. That's your Ford home run replay, and the Cubs have a 2-run lead.
2-0 in the fifth on the Zobrist shot over 390 feet. And here's Hayward.
No, I thought it was just going to be a gap.
2 homers his last 3 games.
And the home run bites Robles again.
Lined and into center. Hayward 2 for 3. 8 hits his last 3 games.
That was
had
a
a good
rocket.
sound.
That
Yeah.
had some hair on it, yeah. Again, weighing down. And he hammers it. Conforto had to feel that one like an infielder. It was hit so hard.
Natives a little restless here as the Cubs have grabbed the lead on the Zobrist homer. Bryant bats with a man on and 2 down. So that ball did that get into the seats, or
The home run was in the bullpen.
right? So that probably would not have been a
No,
home run
no.
prior to the reconfiguration. So all that matters, just get it over that orange padding and you're good.
Did the Mets have to go to the zoning board to get a variance to paint their foul poles orange instead of yellow?
I don't know. I can't think of another park that has foul poles that are a different color than what we typically see. Conforto will grab it. Then Zobrist, 2 hits tonight, including a go-ahead 2-run homer. Backing Jose Quintana, who would take the ball with a lead for the first time. Zip on the Zobrist home run. And it's 8-9-1 to face Quintana, although will not be a pitcher. Jose Reyes on deck behind Guillorme, who takes a strike. It's Jerry Blevins, a left-hander. Do you remember Qualcomm Stadium having orange foul poles?
That does ring a bell.
Taylor checks in on Twitter with that one.
That was a Padre color, right? That's some orange.
These are important things to figure out.
Go with a little candy cane. A little stripe effect would be good.
Can't have any white in it though, right? On a baseball.
Yeah, that's true. It could be problematic.
Charged by Zobrist. On the latest episodes of the Cubs Talk podcast, a two-part series. Hear the difference in how former players and fans expect the rest of the season to go. Their views on the Cubs fan base. Visit NBCSportsChicago.com/podcast to subscribe today.
If I were Mickey Callaway, I would have been tempted to let a pitcher take this at bat. He's got a 3-man bench tonight. So this will leave just 2. Gonzalez and the backup catcher Plawecki. As a switch hitter, he could give you a valuable at bat off the bench late, in an RBI situation, and he's really going to be hamstrung if that happens to occur later on in this ball game.
Popped up, foul ground, back of third, and it is Baez on the dirt. Yeah, I'm guessing Jacob deGrom might be available later. He can hit a little bit.
Yeah, I would have hit him right there. Although Reyes isn't going really well, maybe Callaway feels like deGrom's got a better chance to drive a run in for him. Lost all his hair.
Nimmo with 2 outs. And a called strike on the inside corner. Got a delay in Baltimore. Yankees and Orioles. Cardinals lead the Pirates 4-2, top of the 4th in St. Louis. Braves 3, Nationals 2 in the 4th in Atlanta. One series starting in Houston. Astros 2, Red Sox nothing. Second inning. That's a 4-gamer.
Astros just got done with the Yankees and return home to face the Sox. Talking about the Cardinals, they welcomed their young phenom Alex Reyes back to the rotation. He pitched yesterday and immediately went on the DL with a strained lat.
Fastball strike. And it's 2-2. Quintana's been sharp tonight. Got out of a big jam in the 3rd. Changeup to get Nimmo. Second 1-2-3 inning in a row. He's retired 8 straight. Check out the Verizon projected starters tomorrow. Tyler Chatwood has really struggled with his command. Will face Zach Wheeler for the Mets.
Wheeler's had his struggles as well, as has the veteran left-hander Blevins. 5.56 ERA. He's working for the 25th time. Long and lanky, 6'6", 190.
525th career appearance. Cubs 17th round pick, 2004, out of the University of Dayton, but never got to the big leagues with the Cubs. He did with Oakland 11 years ago.
Fastball, curve and change. Not a hard thrower. Got some funk.
Rizzo way up in the air into that fog. Bruce can't find it. Cabrera called off by Nimmo to make the catch.
And the story of Anthony's night tonight, 3 times in the air softly. And the last, Nimmo takes charge. Cabrera yields as the ball boy went sprinting across the outfield.
Strike on Contreras. Speaking of the yield sign, nobody pays any attention to it anymore. You ever notice that?
The yield? I yield.
Well, you are a conscientious driver. It's that off-ramp yield sign. People just blow right through it.
Oh, like getting on a highway?
No, getting off the highway.
Getting off the highway.
Getting on the highway, I understand. You're trying to get up to speed.
See, New York's kind of bringing out a little Seinfeld in you here tonight. Man.
Maybe.
What's your position on Ovaltine?
I'm against it. No, I'm good with it. I don't drink it, but I don't particularly drink drinks that I have to add stuff to, especially powder.
Tang, you know, the big Tang guy.
No. Only if I'm traveling out of the Earth's atmosphere.
Fair enough.
Swing and a miss, strike 3 on a change.
The Cubs are celebrating Bud Fridays in the Budweiser bleachers all season long. On Friday, June 8th, the Cubs play the Pirates. First pitch 120. And up to the first 5,000 early arriving adults 21 and older in the Budweiser bleachers receive a Cubs neon tank top presented by Budweiser. Get there early. Details, visit Cubs.com/Fridays.
Shout out to Louis Sherman watching us tonight in Wisconsin, rooting on the Cubs. Fastball bottom of the zone on Baez. 2 outs, nobody on. 2-run homer Zobrist in the 5th. Milwaukee idle. And Cubs 4.5 games out. Brewers are in Chicago this weekend. They start a road trip at the White Sox. 2 in Cleveland, 3 in Philadelphia. So Cub fans this weekend will root for the White Sox, right?
Well, yeah, I would think. I don't think there's some, though, I don't think can bring themselves to do it.
Oh, I think so. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That's why you root for the Sox.
Evans is going to complain that he's being overworked here tonight. 24 appearances this year, but only 11 in the 3rd innings of work coming into this outing.
Smack down the line. That's a fair ball. Baez has a double.
And Mesoraco got smoked by the follow through as Javi hesitated before he ran. Looked back over his shoulder to check on Mesoraco. Really got its bell rung. Mesoraco leaning forward to catch that pitch, and the big long follow through of Baez right on top of the head.
They have had awful luck in terms of injuries to their catchers. At one point they put Travis d'Arnaud and Kevin Plawecki on the DL within 2 days of each other. And one of the reasons they made that deal for Mesoraco.
But back in the day when they didn't wear protective helmets behind the plate, just a soft cap. Baez trying to get his attention to issue an apology.
Well, you mentioned they should maybe sign Brandon Phillips. So they've got Bruce and Mesoraco.
Yeah.
Well, they've got Todd Frazier.
Yeah.
He's on the DL.
Yeah.
Schwarber took a leadoff walk in the 5th and then later scored on the 2-out homer by Zobrist.
We could dig in on this, but without really scouring all the rosters of the major league clubs, I would guess that the Mets have the most accrued service time of any team in the league. You've got some guys that have been around a long time. Gonzalez and Reyes, Cabrera, Frazier.
Yeah, I count just on their active roster 5 position players 30 plus. Bautista,
Bruce,
Gonzalez, Reyes, Cabrera, and Bruce. Mesoraco will turn 30 in about 3 weeks. That'll get down for a hit. Baez around 3rd. The throw to the plate, not in time. Throw gets away from Mesoraco. Evans was backing up, but wasn't able to get there, and Schwarber will move up. It's 3-0. Back-to-back 2-out hits to add some insurance.
He's out on that front foot, but he keeps the hands back and is able to keep the bat head in the zone. And with 2 outs, Baez doesn't have to read this. He just goes. Less than 2 outs, he might not score on that ball.
Single, RBI, and an error on Conforto, allowing Schwarber to move to second. Ian Happ batting right-handed. Takes a strike.
I think that may be the toughest error in the game. The throw from the outfield that the catcher doesn't handle on a hop, and the outfielder gets the E on the throw. To me, the burden should be on the catcher to make that play.
Side-arming Steve Cishek is up. Quintana 83 pitches through 5. And on deck is Almora in Quintana's spot. Lifted into center. Conforto squeezes, and that's it. Cubs have scored 3 in the last 2 innings and lead 3-0.
Next Cubs Authentics Fan Night. Once the Cubs take on the Phillies, visit the Authentic Fan booth inside the Gallagher Way gate and grab a free fanny pack while supplies last. And they'll go fast.
Mets 6th. Quintana has allowed 3 hits through 5.
If indeed they were going to hit for him there, he's probably glad that last out was made. He wants to keep pitching.
Yeah. First of a 4-game series. Night games through Saturday. Sunday matinee on getaway day.
My guess is Albert was just a decoy there.
Deep breath by the lefty. And a ground ball to the shortstop. Baez makes the play. 1 away. Planning for a game at Wrigley Field, the Cubs offer free remote parking and shuttle service for night and weekend games and a free bike check located near the Addison Red Line station. Express shuttle buses are also available from Hillside and Rolling Meadows. Check out available transportation and parking options at Cubs.com/transportation. Big strikeout in this game for Quintana. He got Bautista looking with the bases loaded and 1 out in the 3rd.
Got him swinging to end the 1st inning. So 2 tries for Bautista, 2 punch outs. 2 of the 5 that Quintana has recorded here tonight. You were wondering where Buddy Bauman is these days. There he is in the Met bullpen.
Swing and a miss. So Bautista should strike out bunting here. The hat trick.
Swinging, taking, and bunting.
Yeah. Pretty decent chance that won't happen.
There's a reverse limbo. How high will you go, Jose Bautista? in your effort to smash the pinata. Down and in hook. Nope, another elevated heater. Came out of his delivery there.
Yeah.
Typically has better command in on the righties than away.
Not real happy with himself. A couple of non-competitive two-strike pitches.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times that's when you're not really sold on the selection. You know, maybe he was thinking curve or change, and then felt like he had to, really hump up and throw it by him.
Bautista angrily slams his bat down. Baez with the play.
You see Contreras applauding Quintana. And again, the pitch was up, but the scouting report said he'll chase, and he did.
That's 10 in a row. Sent down by Q. Now faces Conforto. With 2 outs, nobody on. Decent crowd. Far from a sellout, maybe mid-20s here at Citi Field this evening.
It's like Cishek's back up in the Cubs bullpen. All right. Right down Broadway here. A left-handed hitter up there, 3-run lead, 2 outs. Time to be aggressive.
Less than aggressive swing from Conforto on that pitch. So 2-2. They had a small fire here at Citi Field yesterday in the rotunda. Fortunately, no one was injured. Minimal damage. Swing and a miss. Quintana mowing him down. That's 11 straight. We'll see if he'll bat in the 7th. 3-0 Cubs. Continues to pitch really well on the road. Came in with a .318 on the road over 6 at home. And 6 shutout innings tonight.
Yeah, probably could have gone back out there, but the command was starting to waver a little bit. And for a guy who's had his struggles this year, 6 shutout innings is an outstanding effort, really something to build on. So they'll shut him down, let Almora pinch hit here, turn it over to the bullpen. Cubs bring in their 4th pitcher of the night. It's left-hander Buddy Bauman. He's pitched just a couple of times for the Mets. He was with the Padres at AAA, and Mets claimed him on waivers. Pitched 7 times for the Mets AAA club in Las Vegas.
Pinch hitter Albert Almora takes a strike.
And he's immediately one of our favorite guys in the league. He's wearing some old-fashioned stirrups out there.
We're playing a light drizzle here in the 7th. George Charles Bauman. Baseball name Buddy.
Kind of like Blevins. Blevins curveball. He's more slider, but again, not a real hard thrower, but certainly has some funk in that delivery. Sits down on that backside, hides the ball well. At least appears to.
Almora draws the leadoff walk.
It's like they're playing in one of those misting systems they have out in the desert in Arizona to try to cool things off. It's just a fine spray.
Fouled away. Zobrist, the go-ahead 2-run homer in the 5th. Was batting left-handed. Career homer number 161. And another ball driven right center, and it'll get past Nimmo. Almora to third. He'll stop there. It's a double.
My goodness.
Triple away from the cycle for Zobrist.
Left-handed, right-handed, it doesn't matter. He is just torching the ball here tonight.
I could be wrong, but it looked like Nimmo had a play on that ball. Would have been the angle we looked at. So here's Hayward, second and third, nobody out. 2 more hits tonight.
It did land a little closer to him than I think he thought it was going to, didn't it?
He had a hard time with the fog tonight.
His first step wasn't very good either. Interesting that the Mets are keeping the infield back, down 3 in the 7th inning.
Swing and a miss. Went out of his zone. Mickey Callaway had to be thrilled with what he got from spot starter Seth Lugo. But since then, everybody's been in trouble. Robles gave up the homer to Zobrist. Blevins allowed a run, and now Bauman dealing with more traffic in the 7th. You think Callaway took a page out of Joe's book tonight and said, Seth, Lugo, we go?
I bet he did.
Three and one. As you mentioned, one of three new managers in this division. Gabe Kapler in Philadelphia and Dave Martinez in Washington.
Yeah, Don Mattingly was in his third year with the Marlins, is the most tenured manager in the NL East. Callaway, an interesting hire. No managerial experience coming here to this big market.
On the ground as Almora scores. That's a 2-for-1. Zobrist to third. Hayward notches his 21st RBI. It's 4-0. Now the infield in against Bryant. Zobrist the runner at third, and the pitch is upstairs for a ball.
Check out the alignment here with Rosario and Guillorme there at third base. They reach out and touch hands.
Now an intentional walk. And they'll go with the platoon advantage here. Lefty lefty with Rizzo.
Yeah, and you know, all new managers talk about the speed of the game and how, you know, we think about the nature of this sport is kind of slow paced and there's a lot of time. But when you're down in that dugout having to make decisions, first time managers will tell you things are on you in a hurry. You really lean heavily on your bench coach. And it's kind of interesting how they threw ball one and then decided to put KB on there. They exactly knew what they wanted to do in advance of that plate appearance.
Anthony Rizzo takes on the Mets. Brought to you by AARP. And overall, his last 7 games against the Mets, 5 homers, 7 walks. Snapped an 11-game hitting streak last night. Had a big series, 2 homers in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he's had a big month, one of the best months of his career. It kind of sneaks up on you because the overall numbers still not where they normally are for Anthony.
Called strike 3. Knee-high strike. Rizzo didn't like it. And that'll bring up Contreras.
That's a pitch as a pitcher you're hoping to get, but you're not counting on it.
Too close to Contreras. 1 ball, no strikes.
Twice on the ground and a punch out tonight for Contreras.
The Mets bullpen going into tonight with a 6.94 ERA their last 10 games. And more issues in this one. And the Cubs taking advantage. Cubs have also benefited from a couple of leadoff walks in the 5th and 7th. Both times that guy has come in to score. Cubs' fourth run was a Gallagher insurance run. Jason Hayward knocking in Almora.
I was thinking that this feels like a Gallagher insurance run right here.
You were correct. Bases loaded.
That delivery and the elevated fastballs, he reminds you a little bit of a young Tony Cingrani.
That will be it for Baumann. Baez will come up with the bases loaded against the next Mets reliever. 4-0 Cubs in the 7th. Freeze called to the pen. Official external pain relief of the Chicago Cubs. This is a Mets debut for right-hander Scott Copeland, who was selected from Double-A Binghamton yesterday.
And last pitched in the big leagues with Toronto in 2015.
Binghamton, that's up your way, right?
Binghamton's central New York, a little bit below Syracuse.
Facing a bases loaded situation, 2 outs, 7th inning. And the batter Baez, who doubled and scored in the 6th, 1 for 3 on the night. Rolled foul. He started the night tied for first in the National League with 43 RBIs. And 3 men on base here, or as JD coined the phrase earlier this week, it might catch on, ducks on the pond.
Ducks on the pond, yeah. I'm hoping that gets a little traction. It's a good night to be a duck tonight. Feels very duckish.
0-2.
See the game where the goose flew into the video board?
Canadian goose in Detroit,
yeah.
and fortunately was okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Tom Henke is the Canadian goose.
Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. And the Cubs leave all those ducks on the pond. 4-0 in the 7th.
visits in various seating areas, the press box, dugouts, as well as a chance to actually step on the field. This must-see Chicago attraction houses over 100 years of history. Book your tour at Cubs.com/tours today. And if you look really hard, you might find the $100 bill that Len hid somewhere up on press row. 26th time that Steve Cishek has trotted in from the bullpen, and he has been most effective. Pitching to a 1.85 earned run average, 24 1/3 innings. He's allowed only 15 hits. Striking out a batter per.
So Almora stays in after pinch hitting. He is in center. Happ moves to left. And Twitter all over us on this phrase "ducks on the pond." They claim that it was invented not, what was the day? Tuesday, maybe you used it? It was not invented Tuesday.
No.
And a week ago Sunday on another big league telecast. A strike on the outside corner. We'll get to the bottom of it
shortly after we introduce the fist bump.
Correct. One and one.
Rocco 0 for 2. He hit it sharply last time, lined out to Baez. Done good work since joining the Mets. 16 games, a couple of doubles, 5 home runs, 10 driven in, 11 scored, a .580 slugging percentage. But 0 for 2 so far here tonight.
Swing and a miss. He was late on 91.
Well, that's a pattern we see a lot from Cishek. Down, 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 and then upstairs for the strikeout. Sweep that slider and then climb the ladder with the upshoot. So many guys focusing on trying to launch the ball. That drop down riding fastball up is a very effective pitch. You got to be really top hand, get on top to do anything with that pitch. Frisbee. 6 inning 6-3-0-0 2 and 6 for Quintana tonight. 97 pitches, 60 strikes. 18 of 22 first pitch strikes.
Swing and a miss.
Here's another guy, especially when he's scuffling. If he's trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark, you get a little pull happy. Start to drop that back shoulder, try to lift the ball, and you can throw that high fastball by him. When he's right, he will shoot the ball the other way. He's a former first-round pick, came to the big leagues at 2021. He was very young. He's 10 years in the league. He's turned 31 in April.
Defensive hack that time from Beaumont, Texas.
I believe that's where Frank Robinson was born.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Bluebirds are out here. Stairs again.
Ryan Dunsing up in the Cubs bullpen.
In terms of his stature, he reminds you of Reyes, doesn't he? Rosario,
Yes.
He stands in there. Maybe it's the way he wears the uni too.
Slider inside. 2 balls and a strike.
Mets were 70 and 92 last year. Finished in 4th place, 27 games out of 1st. This coming a year after they got beat in the wild card game by the Giants, and 2 years after going to the World Series. And they got beat by the Royals. Those are the only 2 winning seasons they've had since 2008. And by winning, I mean better than 500.
Hoisted to right. Hayward has it. Their last base runner was a walk to Cabrera in the 3rd inning. 4-0. All Cubs after 7. Ben Zobrist, rejuvenated, recently turned 37. And they banged a 2-run shot in the 5th to give the Cubs the lead, 2-0 at the time. They now have a 4-0 advantage, batting in the 8th inning. Tommy La Stella. Hard ground ball for a base hit.
There's a shocker. Another knock off the bench for La Stella.
Brings up Ian Happ.
Cubs have out hit the Mets 9-3 now.
So let's add up Tommy's work as a pinch hitter. He's now 11 for 25 with 2 doubles, 5 walks, and an on-base percentage of over .500.
There was a meeting of the Joes before the game today. Joe Torre and Joe Madden. Tete-a-tete in Joe's office this afternoon. No doubt chatting about the controversial slide in Pittsburgh the other night and the ensuing slide last night when Musgrove tried to take out Javi on a potential double play ball. But I imagine they talked about a lot of things.
Yeah, the slide play, that rule doesn't really apply all that often. We just happen to have it twice in the same series. Swing and a miss. Happ is out.
Tough night for Ian. Nothing for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. Folks, you can watch every out-of-market regular season game live at home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.tv. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
Almora walking a run in the 7th off the bench. Now playing center.
Jose Ramirez of the Indians has homered again tonight. It's a 4 in the last 5 games. He's now tied for the major league lead with 18. And he has walked more than he has struck out. Slugging .638.
Swing and a miss.
Albert, the success he's having, he's going to see more spin. You can see pitches off that outside edge. He's good in, he's good up, he's good on velocity. See, he might be able to get on top of that high C-check fastball.
Pulled to left and caught a tumbling grab out there by Bautista. We're out number 2.
Tough break for Albert. It sure looked like a base hit when he left his bat. Bautista showing some fresh legs out there, making a fine running catch. He's a good outfielder.
So Zobrist a triple away from the cycle.
So let's hook one down into that right field corner. Bang one off that funky angled wall out in deep right.
Average at .293. Here it comes outside. Check on Stella. Started the inning with a single, now 2 outs. He's still at first. The paid crowd tonight 34,458. A few more than I had guesstimated. That's a word, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guesstimate. Yeah. Or did I just make that up? We got Twitter going hard on the ducks on the pond, which is a lot of fun.
He's not easy to fool these days. He's seeing the ball really well. Tough one. Looks like it's going to be Saturday, the DeGrom game. Montgomery was so good last time. Hopefully he can dial up another one Saturday. DeGrom's 4-0 with a 152.
By the way, a home run would be just great. The cycle is kind of fun because it's first to second, third, home, but a home run would actually be better than a cycle. It would be 2 homers, a double, and a single. Instead, it's a ground out to second, but still 1 a night for Zobrist. Middle of the 8th, Cubs 4, Mets nothing. Here in NYC, Addison Russell now playing shortstop. Baez goes over to second. Zobrist goes to left, and here's Brian Dunsing.
The veteran left-hander comes on to face 3 lefties. As Adrian Gonzalez, and 2 available bats on the bench, is out on deck to pinch hit. And one of the Cub relievers that has been so good, posting a 1.59 ERA through 24 appearances.
Also goes in Hap's spot in the batting order.
Uncle Charlie. We could claim we invented that term too, but we'd have Twitter spiraling out of control.
I was just thinking we should have a broadcast where it's just invent a baseball phrase night. We just mix up all kinds of cliches. And it's not over till it's foul.
I used to do that when I was playing because in the dugout there's a lot of chatter that is nonsensical, but just say, come on, yep, not, you know. So I used to just try to do that, but I would, like, you know, hey, Swiss cheese here, and just see if anybody would look at me sideways. Or
ground ball to the short baseman. Third stop has it.
On that little pea soup here.
Now the Cubs electric socket will discuss. Still the battery. Russell right into the action.
Always finds the new guy. So Mets coming home off a disappointing road trip, hoping to get a little something going. They're here for a while now. This 4-game set with the Cubs. And then they got the Birds of Baltimore for 2, and then they'll finish the homestand with 3 with the Yankees. The fans and media will accuse them of being flat, because that's what happens when you get shut down by good pitching.
Right. Here's Adrian Gonzalez.
It's kind of hard to have a lot of energy and be bouncing around when you're just making right turns and heading back to the dugout all night long.
Last time we saw Adrian, he was in a Dodger uniform, traded to the Braves, and then got released in December, a couple of days after that deal, and signed with the Mets. He has been traded 5 times in his career. And a few of those deals were big trades, lots of players moving. One was the Anthony Rizzo trade from San Diego to Boston. Rizzo the other way, December of 2010. Frozen rope.
Hey, that might stick.
2 down.
You could hang your laundry on that one.
16 in a row retired by Quintana, Cishek, Dunsing. That's a foul. Remember John Lovitz came up with that on one of our broadcasts.
Yeah, what was his
the fly ball foul, and he called it a foul. You talk about a bucking bronco of an interview. John Lovitz.
Yeah, where's that going next?
No. That's hit a ton, and it is foul.
He doubled off Quintana earlier. Mentioned that he didn't have good numbers against left-handed pitching, but it was a pretty small sample. Looks like he's settling in. He's going to be a pretty solid big league player. Put that down and away dart. Nope. The Phillies lead the Dodgers 2-1 now, top of the 8th in LA. Great pitching matchup. Kershaw and Aaron Nola. Kershaw coming off the DL, went just 5 innings, 62 pitches, allowed 1 run. Nola's gone 7, allowed 2 hits and a run so far. He's got a .218.
Crunched out into deep center, and there goes the shutout. Nimmo with a double and a homer tonight, and it's 4-1. For a while there, I mean, it's felt like a 10-0 game, but it's only a 3-run lead now here in the 8th inning.
Tried to throw that fastball to the outside corner and stayed on the plate a little bit, but this is just good work by Nimmo. He's really seeing the ball well, swinging it well. And there's your forward home run replay as Nimmo goes deep for the 6th time this year.
Cubs 4, Mets 1. Pitching change in the 8th. We'll be back. Official external pain relief of the Chicago Cubs, Pedro Strop, with a 3-run lead, 2 outs, 8th inning after the Nimmo home run knocked Dunsing out.
Second appearance for Pedro on the road trip. Worked an inning in Pittsburgh of the opener on Memorial Day, scoreless. 3 up, 3 down, 3 fly balls. 1.59 the ERA for Pedro.
First pitch swinging, a pop up to Russell. And we'll go to the ninth. Cubs 4, Mets 1. The Cubs and Mets. Cubs lead 4-1, trying to make it 3-1 to start this road trip. Gerson Batista, right-hander, here in the ninth.
From the Dominican Republic, 6'3", 195. Hey, today's his birthday. Happy birthday, Gerson. He's 23 today. Mets got him in a deal with the Red Sox in exchange for Addison Reed last July.
Facing Jason Hayward. Hayward batting second for the first time this season, and he's got 2 more hits plus an RBI, and he needs a new bat.
His batting average up to 264, on base 340. Like to get a little more slugging out of him, but he's trending in the right direction these days.
High drive, deep right center, and back at the wall. It is caught by Conforto.
Thought we were going to get that slugging we were talking about. Didn't even have to rub the lamp. Just under a little bit, not enough carry, and another good swing by Hayward.
Chris Bryant, 2 reaches.
Hundy.
100 miles an hour.
He's got some long levers, this kid. Long legs, long arms. He sits on that back leg, reaches back, and really turns it loose.
Tigers beat the Angels this afternoon 6-2. Infielder Ronnie Rodriguez made his major league debut for Detroit. Hit for the cycle earlier for a AAA Toledo, and in his debut he had a couple of hits, I believe. Check the box score. Ronnie went 2 for 4 with a run. Base hit. Third time Chris has reached. Nicholas Castellanos today had 3 more hits. He was batting .332 on the year. We'll see the Tigers in interleague play this summer. Morrow the righty, Rosario the lefty. So guessing if it stays 4-1, it's Morrow.
Yeah.
The Cubs add, it's Rosario, and they're looking to add back-to-back 1-out hits. Bryant on his way to third.
Speaking of Chris Bryant, if you get a chance, read the story that Patrick Mooney wrote on Chris in The Athletic. Just a great piece. Going back to Chris's high school days, his college career, and then his time with the Cubs, and how he's handled everything so well.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, as a baseball player, Chris is too good to be true, but you know, he does everything well. He's going to head back to third and tag. And he makes it 5-1. Sac fly for Contreras.
Might be enough to sit Morrow down in the bullpen. RBI for Contreras.
And that was another Gallagher insurance run.
1 for 3 for Wilson, but a walk and a sac fly. And a little breathing room. A little more breathing room.
So Baez with a run in. And the Cubs now leading 5-1. That one whiffed by Mesoraco. Should be a pass ball.
Put a hole in his mitt. Might have been a strike.
It is a pass ball.
No fun to catch this guy. He throws hard. He has good movement, but he doesn't really know where it's going. Kind of raw out there. Plus 1 equals 2. I'm not sure exactly where he's going with that.
Swing and a miss. He aired it out. Power against power, 3-1. Bautista with some really good hair.
Yeah, it's pretty good hair right there too.
Well played. Ball 4. Rizzo an aggressive turn. Yeah, Mesoraco just trying to keep the ball in front of him. There's Bautista without the hat on. Mesoraco can use the Bob Uecker line, right? How do you catch a knuckleball? I just wait till it stops rolling at the backstop.
He can put through his paces here in this inning. And the Bauman kid, when he was out there, he was all over the place as well.
By the way, Javi walked unintentionally.
Yeah.
First time.
That's what, April 7th, is it?
Well, he had an intentional walk, but to get to the unintentional walk, you go back to April 7th. So it's got to be 180-ish plate appearances ago. Third time he's walked unintentionally this season. Off the outside.
Dave Island is the pitching coach here with the Mets. He spent a number of years with the Yankees, Kansas City. He's got a lot of experience. He's got some good young arms to work with. His bullpen right now is full of inexperienced arms. I mean, this guy, he can command his stuff, obviously has a chance to be quite good. Dave alongside third base coach Glenn Sherlock.
Swing and a miss. Russell strikes out. Cubs add to their lead. That probably means Rosario in the bottom of the ninth. 5-1. Lots of good choices tonight, but Jose Quintana with 6 shutout frames gets the honors.
Yeah, allowed just 3 hits, a couple of walks, struck out 6. Had one crisis point in the game in the third. He walked Lugo, the opposing pitcher, with 1 out. Ended up having to deal with a bases loaded situation, but he punched out Bautista, got Conforto to ground to first. And to get out of that inning of what was a very nice play by Anthony Rizzo.
Benny's Beverage Depot is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs. It's Strop to stay in, and he gets Bautista to line out.
Give Ben Zobrist a co-toast of the game for his effort tonight.
Conforto takes just low.
Don't shift a lot. They're shifting for Conforto. Brian has moved over to the right side of the infield.
The Baez walk was his first unintentional free pass in 83 plate appearances, which is about a third of the season for most guys. He continues to hit for power. It was a unique case for sure. Conforto walks. Mesoraco takes a strike on a slider. He said, that's not a strike. Ryan Gorman disagrees.
Mesoraco, you can understand his frustration. Hit a rocket for an out to short tonight. He's been smoked in the back of the head with a bat. He's had to catch some guys that are all over the place.
Rizzo's got it. 2 outs. Jay Bruce with 2 outs, 9th inning.
This would be a save for Pedro, correct?
Yeah.
4-1 when he entered the game.
Chance to make it 3 out of 4 to start the road trip.
Uh-oh. Tentative all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Morrow continues to throw, and Bruce reaches here. Morrow might be in the ball game. Hit the 5-pin.
And 2 walks here in the ninth.
Yeah, it's going to bring Joe Madden out of the dugout, and not so much just that they're base runners, but the walks and the lack of command in this inning. A little bit of an alarm goes off, so why wait?
So it will be a save spot as the tying run is on deck as Morrow heads in from the pen. The BioFreeze call to the pen. Brandon Morrow trying to get the final out and not save number 13.
He picked up save number 12 Tuesday in Pittsburgh, 2/3 of an inning. He allowed a couple of hits, no runs charged to him. A couple of inherited runners came home. Ultimately finished off the Pirates in that ball game.
Batter is shortstop Rosario. The tying run is on deck. Luis Guillorme.
Rosario better be ready for 99.
So Morrow pitched on Tuesday. Got the save in Pittsburgh. Gave up a couple of hits, but last night he got loose, didn't pitch. And Joe's philosophy is once it's a save situation, 4-run lead, you might say, isn't he overreacting? Well, Morrow's already ready. Might as well bring him in at this point. Ground ball, Russell, Baez, Cubs win. Cubs win 5-1. Quintana 6-4 on the year, and Morrow now 13 out of 14 in save chances.
Yeah, Quintana outstanding here tonight. Ben Zobrist with a big night offensively. Cubs play solid defense again. They've only committed one error on this road trip. Banged out 11 hits tonight. Fairly easy W to start this 4-game set with the Mets.
Well, pitching was so good tonight. Nimmo got Dunsing with the home run, but one of just 4 New York hits. So for JD and our entire NBC Sports Chicago crew and all the Ducks on every pond, Len Casper with your final. Cubs 5, Mets 1. We're on Plus tomorrow night. NBC Sports Chicago Plus. Pre-game coverage 5:30. JD and I take over at 6. Coming up next, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois post-game live.